James Kugel, in the book How to Read the Bible, A Guide to Scripture Then and Now, 2007 from the Free Press, page 562 and 563. He's talking about how Hermann Gunkel had argued that the earlier stages of the Pentateuch, how the Pentateuch, the first 5 books of the Bible, was put together and how it was arranged, and why does it contain all that it contains. He says, originally independent stories that revolved around Israel's ancestors, stories that were probably passed on orally from generation to generation before being written down, most of these were less concerned with the actual people involved, with how this or that tribe or nation or place got its name, or with other etiological concerns. Then the critics pointed out that when these little stories were eventually combined with others, centering on the same ancestral figure, they became little life histories of the people involved. So they acquired a certain spin that they had not necessarily had before. See, this is very reminiscent of Nephi updating Isaiah, and Isaiah's disciples adding to his record. He even says, one story or incident was read in the light of the others. This is on page 563. In the next stage, these biographies of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and other figures were joined into a continuous historical narrative and fitted into an overall chronological framework that further changed their meaning for the contemporaries, of course. This was later combined with yet other material and re-edited until finally the whole thing became the Pentateuch. He quotes the German scholar Gerhard von Rad on this idea of the stages of development of the Pentateuch and the Old Testament. There is no doubt that the present Hexateuch, the Pentateuch plus Joshua, in its final form, makes great demands on the understanding of every reader. Many ages, many men, many traditions and theologies have constructed this massive work. Only someone who does not look superficially at the Hexateuch, but reads it with a knowledge of its deep dimension, will arrive at true understanding. Such a person will know that revelations and religious experiences of many ages are speaking from it. For no stage in this work's long period of growth is really obsolete. Something of each phase has been conserved and passed on as enduring until the Hexateuch attained its final form. This is the same argument made about the book of Isaiah. He says so, 563. Like the Pentateuch, the composition of the various parts of Isaiah covered a huge period. The earlier material went back to the 740s BCE, and so on and so forth. He talks about the different scholars' analysis of how the abridging went, on how they put it all together, on the putting together of the later chapters by Isaiah's disciples, and it is a fascinating account. It goes all the way through page 568, if you can get this and read that. We have here a confirmation of Isaiah, and the main theme in the Book of Mormon is that Isaiah was on the brass plates by 600 BC. But Nephi, as Nibley had noted, I didn't mention this, but Nephi only quoted those parts of 1st Isaiah and 2nd Isaiah. There is no Trito Isaiah in the Book of Mormon, so far as we can find. So was that the Isaiah that was in composition back then? It very likely could have been. Isaiah has been constantly added to, updated, and incorporated into the history of Israel to show that his prophecies were fulfilled. The modern scholarship says, no, this can't be the same Isaiah because prophecy doesn't occur. So they break it all up. But in the process, now they have discovered that this was the authentic way to deal with the ancient scripture from the ancient Jewish viewpoints. And the Book of Mormon is powerful with this theme. So I hope this helps you understand the Isaiah 48 issue a little better. Thanks for joining me in the Backyard Professor videos. I'll be back with more as I can.